Hey, Clay Nelson, Life Balance Hour, and we're talking about communication. And notice in that song it says, dancing with you, baby, doing the best I can. That's kind of like how parents raise kids.
Also involving the wake me, shake me
Wake
part.
me, shake me, yeah. And it's also, you do the dance. You dance the best you can, all right? And you got to learn to forgive each other. I mean, it's just the way it is. Stevie Wonder said, we all have ability. The difference is how we use it. Now think about that, all right? William James said, there's but one cause of human failure, all right? And that is man's lack of faith in his true self. I mean, actually believing in yourself. Now, what do you think's missing in most young people?
Self-worth.
Self-worth, all right? And so where do they go and find it? In people they believe that are more powerful than they are, or people that are doing something that they may want to do. And if they have no parental input, positive parental input, where are they going to go?
Yeah, what's going to wake up the parents?
Yeah, so it's all about, the parents have to understand that, hey, it's not just birthing the babies, it's growing them up. And it's a tough one. So I'm not making parents wrong. I'm not making kids wrong. It's all about who do I have to be? How can I stretch myself? How can I duplicate myself? That's where Transforming America's Youth came from. It's all about full and complete communication. It's all about getting the kids to teach the kids positive things.
Well, just right. We have an email from a listener. It says, the problems of so many troubled youth seem to stem from inattentive parents more than anything else. And if their kid joining a gang isn't going to wake them up, what will?
Well, I got to tell you, a lot of times I've found in my travels across the United States talking to gang members and challenged kids and kids that, quite frankly, are very intelligent. The educational system is, shall we say, aimed at the mid-range children, all right? I mean, that's who we teach. The kids that are a little bit slower, the kids that are way smarter don't get what they need, so they get bored. And they do things to get attention. One of the things they do is getting into trouble or going against the grain of what the parental units say they should be doing. Notice I use parental unit. That's a parent, by the way. So it's all about getting that. Read the last part of that again.
It says, it's about inattentive parents more than anything else. And if their kid joining a gang isn't going to wake them up, what will?
If their children, most parents, when I talked to them over the years, didn't know their children were in a gang until the gang got popped for something. They didn't know. And it's like, you can be so disjointed. And, kids are pretty smart, especially with the technology they have today. They can fool you. They can say they're going someplace and not go there. You can be doing other things. So it's all about showing up. Like there's a lot of times with CJ, he'd say he'd be out doing something, so I'd go there and see if he was there. Mm-hmm. And if he was there, I left. If he wasn't there, I found him. So we only had to do that a couple of times. They got real straight. Oh, my dad's going to come. So it's not about distrust. It's about I want him to know I'm there for him. I want him to know I believe in him. I want to know who he's hanging with. I want to know what he's doing. Not because I don't trust him. It's because I want to know what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. All right? Times change. I mean, since the internet has taken over the planet, my God, everything has changed. So,
Clay, we have Tara on the line calling in who has a personal story of her own that she wanted to share.
My gosh. Hi, Tara. What can I do for you?
Well, Clay, I want to hear from you more on this subject, so I'm going to keep this as brief as possible.
Okay.
But I have a 10 and a 14-year-old son and daughter, and I've just kind of felt already they're growing up, that they are they're just growing up fast, and already feel some disjointedness. So one night, I decided when I was cooking dinner, I made sure the TV was off. I turned on some music that I knew they would enjoy. I even lit a candle on the island in the kitchen, and everybody walked in, my husband and my children, and they all said, "Who's coming to dinner?"
Yeah.
And I said, "You guys are."
Yeah, cool.
And they were just floored.
Yeah.
And what we did is everybody had a cold drink, and they sat at the island, and I asked them about their day, and we talked while I made dinner, and it was one of the nicest evenings of the summer that I can recall.
Yeah, you're really
way
hitting
cool.
It's really cool, but you're really hitting a topic that I've spoke on many, many times in front of many organizations, and it's very simply the American sit-down family meal in the evening with everybody present has disappeared. And if you want to put your family back together, start having dinner together. I mean, it's really absolutely one of the best things you can do. And then each one you go around the table and just go, well, how was your day? And then everybody just wait and listen. And many times the young people will say, "Oh, it's fine. It was fine. Everything's fine. What'd you learn in school?" "Well, just what they had to teach me." "And what'd you do after school?" "Oh, the same thing." And you do that for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, 4 or 5 days, 4 or 5 nights in a row. Pretty soon they learn they got to have something to say, or they're going to have to eat peas.
Start
It's
talking.
going to get pretty boring.
But you get what I'm saying though? What you're doing and what you did and the result you got is the same result everybody gets if they'll just do it. So you have, like I said earlier, you have to take the time, of which we have very little. But
Right.
go ahead.
And that's why I'm calling in, because it really was a phenomenal experience.
Yeah.
And if you just take the time and turn off the TV, it
Yeah.
really paid tremendous dividends.
Yeah, what if you said, I mean, that was so great what you said. What if you just set it up so every dinner with your own family felt like we had company coming over?
Yeah.
I mean, what a cool, it's a mental picture of what that was like. People actually got excited. "Oh, Mom's got a surprise. Guess what? You're it."
We have to do that more often.
Yeah,
dear.
cool. All right, anything else, my friend?
No, that was it. Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear more. I know you're short on time. Maybe we can carry this over to next week.
That's a possibility. I'll sure think about that.
Okay, I'll look forward to it. Thanks.
All right, thanks for calling in. Now,
Uh-huh.
what she had to say was so right on. Look, everybody has to eat. Everybody gets up in the morning. Everybody has breakfast, or everybody has lunch, or everybody has dinner, all right? And what would it be like if you just asked your family to have one of those meals or all of those meals together? Now, I got to tell you, there's a lot of people in the world that do that, and I'd be willing to bet very few of those people have problems with kids being involved in gangs or kids being involved in things they shouldn't be involved in. I mean, life happens. Things happen. Nobody's perfect. But I'd be willing to bet that the ratio of troubled kids is far greater with families that don't have sit-down meals together. And it's that simple, all right? Now, I want to get into this on this show before I run out of time, which I'm running out of quick, is why do you want to have a family meeting? What's the purpose of a family meeting? And earlier in the show, I said the gap between you as a parent and your children is communication. So what is communication? Ladies and gentlemen, that's where you guys talk with each other, not at each other. You actually sit down and you have a conversation where one person speaks and the rest of the people listen. They can take notes. They can look at you. They can be rug inspectors and not look at you, but they can't leave, and they have to stay there, and they have to stay present to whatever the speaker is saying. I call that a meeting where people get to communicate what's going on with them, what they're afraid of, what they want, what they don't like. It may be nothing more than, hey, my sister takes out the garbage less than I do. I'm tired of taking out the garbage all the time. Or I don't want to make up the bed. Or I don't want to do this. Or I'm tired of this. Or she always leaves the vacuum cleaner bag full. I always have to empty the vacuum cleaner bag before I vacuum. Simple things, but it shows people how to work things out in communication, not with a fist. Can you hear that? And it shows kids that parents have the same problem kids do. I mean, many, many times in my life, Susan and I have actually been fighting about something because Susan's a mean woman. She just pushes me around all the time. Her life is really hard. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. And Susan and I will be in an argument, and we'll bring the kids into the room and say, okay, I want you to know something. Number one, we're not getting a divorce. Number two, our problem is not your problem. Now, your mom and I are going to sit down and work out our problems verbally until we get it solved. Now, would you like to sit down and watch us get things worked out, or would you like to go play? And our kids have taken front row center every time. They want to see who's going to win. You know what I mean? All right, I got to go on a break. You're listening to the Clay Nelson Live Pound Hour on KZSB AM 1290. Got a lot to say. Get on back here.